Good evening, Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Curvin, and this is Randy's Rant for February 6th, 2020. I was almost not in here, had to throw the headphones on Grace and mute the TV. She's watching Little House on the Prairie. Uh, all right, I see you out there. Saw one drop out. Uh, Basically, I wanted to make it kind of quick today. I'm going to start off with some I got mail. I got mail today from Linda Douglas. I'm going to show you the card. Isn't that cute? All right, here we go. Hi, Randy and Grace. Thought you could use a little smile. Love, Linda Douglas, a blue dot in Sparta, New Jersey. I appreciate that, Linda. This is the support I was talking about. This lifts me up to get out here and do what I do. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Joe. Hello, George. And hello, Deborah. Yeah, you're here, dude. All right, chick. We'll get this thing going. We'll start out with I did watch a good deal of Andrew Yang last night, and he really impressed me with his ideas on many of the issues we're facing. And I got around to a little Elizabeth Warren. I was trying basically last night to gather what I could for today. And I find a lot of positives. I'll start out with that. And we all know that today he held his Republican, it was disguised as a press conference, for Pete's sake. It was a Republican pep rally, including, what was his name? Cipriani, the one that was in the loop that was defending him. And again, he came out and said, he's done nothing wrong. So he's in disagreement. And I bet those Republicans that brought up that fact were not in that room today. He mentioned Jim Jordan and several others. It was, more or less shit show like the State of the Union was. And at the State of the Union, he chased out the father of the daughter of the shooter at, I believe it was Parkland. And yet, he gives the Freedom Medal to Rush Limbaugh. What's he, feeling sorry for him? Well, in any case, let's get back to what was going on today. I started a page called Daily Supplemental because before you can even get to the past news, he starts with new shit. He started his day whining and bitching about the Democrats and Romney. McConnell has already stated there is no appetite for the Senate to expel Romney. Don Jr. jumped in for daddy and sent that nasty tweet out about they should expel him from the Senate. Bird brain, just like his dad. The nut doesn't fall far from the tree. We all knew that the GOP can't rein in their president. His overall policy is corruption like never before in our history. To use the platform of the National Prayer Breakfast to bash his political enemies is a disgrace to this country, on a world stage, because they're watching that just like this press conference. And at his state of mind, as Nancy called it the other night, he is using it for political purposes with that 4 more years. That has never been done in our history. I have never seen anyone in the history of the United States that will bash the party while he's supposedly having a State of the Union. His enemies, he just bashes them, and it was a real shit show, and everybody knows it. It was like I was saying yesterday. Come on down. You've been brought back from overseas to be with your wife and your child. That was for show. He doesn't give a shit about veterans because 60 have traumatic brain damage and he calls it a headache. Damn. And this morning at the prayer breakfast, I guarantee you his speechwriter for that and for his 12 noon Eastern time, which he was late again. I think it was about 14 or 15 after before they played the music for him to march out. I guarantee his speechwriter in both of those occasions was the little Nazi Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller can write the best hate that is possible. Yeah, I wrote down the time. It was 12:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They were waiting for he called it a press conference. He didn't answer not one damn question. He just turns around and walks out. That, like I said, was a Republican pep rally where he went through talking about the witch hunt, referred to James Comey as a dirty cop, lying his ass off. He hadn't been, if he hadn't have been elected, now get this, the stock market would have crashed. Oh, he's a Spengali too. He can predict what would have happened if he hadn't have been president. Give me a fucking break. Shows the Washington Post and then bragged about that. That's the only good headline he's ever had from them. Trump acquitted. Let's see. That the Russia thing was everything was bullshit. Said it on national TV. My Republican friends, is that kind of language you want your children to hear? Because if they didn't, they were in school today, they will hear it on the news. They'll probably blip it out to where you can't hear it. But in any case, those children will be asking, what did he say? And I'm saving the best news for last. And he called it tremendous corruption on the Russia. Brought it on himself. I distinctly remember, my Republican friends, that he stood up there and asked for Russian help. 2.5 hours later, they were helping him to find the emails that, remember, he was crazy about WikiLeaks. And then since he's been in the Oval Office, he doesn't know anything about WikiLeaks. Damn liar. And he bragged about, let's see what else. He called Adam Schiff a corrupt politician, pointing out again and again he did nothing wrong. He had a perfect call. That's what he was saying today. Then he bragged about 191 corrupt, I call them corrupt right wing judges. Some of these judges have never even faced a trial in a court, but they're good enough to be right wing on the bench. And it still seems to be he's still claiming uh, that pre-existing conditions he's protecting it. He talked about Grassley and the Comey lies. Let's see. 98% of what he talked about was about himself. Like I said, he's a whiny little bitch. And that's what he was doing out feeling sorry for himself. It was almost like they had a psychiatrist in the room and he was on the couch showing his psychosis and everything else. And he talked about the Rern lies. Paul Manafort's a good guy, in case you didn't know it. His life was ruined because they caught him laundering money. But that's a part of the impeachment hoax. No, wait a minute, that was part of the witch hunt with Mueller. Give me a damn break. Damn. And don't worry, I'm getting to the positive in this. He repeatedly put down the Democrats as being evil, for one thing, and that Schiff and Pelosi, that if Pelosi was praying, it wasn't for him, it was against him. Now, see, that's codependency. He knows what people are thinking. And that's the way you can tell. He's a narcissist. He's codependent because he doesn't know what people are thinking. And this is not their first occasion. Remember when he told reporters that there were good people on both sides? And he pointed at a reporter, and you know it. That's what you are thinking, but you don't want to realize that there were good people on both sides. You're thinking it, but you're reporting something else. Give me a break. That's when John Kelly did like that. They looked at his watch, and that's when he said there were good people on both sides. I am thankful to have a good memory on all this bullshit. You really don't have to fact check him on much because much of it is just projection. He's full of bullshit, but he projects it back on the Democrats. And he claimed the Democrats would take away health care for, I think he said something like 130 million people. Projection. He's wrong. That's what he wants to do. Of course, he didn't mention the lawsuit against pre-existing conditions in Texas going on. And I called Nancy. That was a positive on the day. And what she had to say about the state of his mind address last night. I mean, Tuesday night. And he claims his party is stronger than ever. We know that's a bunch of shit. Congratulating all the slime balls in the House and the Senate. Like I said, a Republican pep rally this afternoon, exonerating himself. It was truly, well, I lost that thought, but he kept calling out Comey by name as a dirty cop, the dossier as being a phony, and saying something about Christopher Steele has admitted it. Another lie. And that one I'm going to be working on because he didn't say that. And of course, he was patting himself and his family on the back. Even got a hug from his daughter wife, Ivanka. And on the same day of the uh, State of the Union, no, it was the day that he was acquitted. Barr now can only approve personally anyone involved in an investigation of a presidential candidate or campaign member going forward. But keep in mind, here's the positive. He cannot stop the Freedom of Information Act from coming out, and it will keep coming out. I heard last night that John Bolton does not want to appear. He will not answer a subpoena for the House. See, this was to bring forward. Really, we don't know what the man was going to say. We think that it wouldn't have been a lot of good things. But then the Republicans didn't want to take the chance that he might have some real dirt. And like I said, I don't want to make this one long, and I'm keeping an eye on the time. This is unbelievable. I love this attendance. I'm seeing new people out there all the time, and and some are related to other blue dots. I like that. Let's see. Hello, Maria. Hello, Porgy. I hope I pronounced that right. Hello, Mary again. All right, let's see. I can only scroll upwards, but we have got a good crowd. Hello, George. Hello, Maria. Hello, John. All right. Great crowd. I really appreciate the turnout for this. And I will start closing this one down with the positive, besides the Freedom of Information Act that will be coming out, is also all over the country yesterday. There were protests. I want to stay positive. That's the positive. And if they can stay fired up, this man lies enough, and like this with Bill Barr, this is shutting down our government as a free nation. He has to approve who can be investigated. Well, we know it ain't going to happen to anybody on the Trump team. That's for damn sure. And if it does happen, it will be on somebody like Biden or one of the candidates running against Trump. That is a positive, though. If they can stay out in the street, keep demonstrating, keep sending cards and letters to Congress, keep calling Congress, let them know the man is guilty and they will pay a price at the ballot box. Vote blue no matter who, because this is our country and I'm not ready to give it up. And I know you're not. And I know that some Republicans, that was another thing I'll throw in real quick. Don't waste your time trying to convince Republicans. Work on independents and registered new Democratic voters. That is how we beat the monster in the White House. If we can do that, we can win this thing back. And I think we're going to win the Senate. We're going to win the House and the presidency, because everybody is going to start seeing the corruption that's coming out of the White House. Even if they're for him, they're going to see, do they really want to be knowing in history that they backed the next Hitler? And this is exactly what's going on. He is using the Hitler playbook, hugging the flag. Anybody that doesn't think like them or believe in their faith is not a one of us, not a part of this country, should be kicked out of this country. What'd they do? These Bible thumpers have thrown the New Testament out of the Bible. And that's all I'm going to say. I could go on like this for hours. I will remind you of the address. I'm going to be putting that on this on my timeline. I may do it like I've done before with the meme that I have out there. We are the true patriots. We are the Blue Dot family. We are a grassroots movement. We are all around the world now, and we're only going to get bigger. We will make that difference in 2020. It's an uphill fight. We're going to be fighting gerrymandering, voter suppression, all that bullshit, Russian interference in it, probably Israeli, probably Turkey. Anybody he's buddied with, you can count on it. They're going to try to get him in there. Now, he is legally, according to being president under Article 2, according to the Republicans, he can solicit any help from a foreign power to help him in the election. Oh, it's a regular shit show, but I do appreciate everybody showing up. I'll be viewing this later on, and I can read all the stuff in real time in the chat line. Of course, you can always drop down below, like and share, and leave your comment afterwards below on YouTube. I really appreciate that. That helps lift the spirits too. It helps me lets me know sometimes some things that I haven't looked in, and any suggestions about what to look in too is greatly appreciated. And as with the cards and letters, like I got that card today, that lifts my spirit. That is support. And other support, I will be putting my PayPal me in somewhere. I've started getting to where people are give me a thumbs up on that. So, like yesterday on Facebook, I said I got my first thumbs down. Had my first 2 trolls. Hopefully, trolls didn't show up today. Hello, Richard. Glad to see you, buddy. I will let you go at this time. Tomorrow is Friday, and everybody knows what that means. Let's relax Friday and get ready for a Friday news dump that I will be covering on YouTube on Saturday. We'll keep this thing going. We will win out in the end. Truth to power. That's how you fight the corruption that's in the White House. Truth to power. And we can do that. We can fact check every lie this man tells. And as it was pointed out to me today, it takes time. It takes time. But let me know what you find out. I'll let you know what I find out. And your monetary support is not required, but it does keep things going here. Keeps the, oh, I wanted to mention this before I go, because it's important to quite a few of you. I took a vacuum to both sides of the heater that I was complaining about. And ever since I've cleaned it, since the weather has been as cool as it's been here, that heater is not cut off in the last 2 days. So again, I solved my own problem. I feel lucky in that way. Somehow I always figure out some way that I can avoid going out. New heater had cost around $100 and something. I saved that much by just, using my noggin and figuring out, well, what about cleaning it real well? Because this heater that I've got over here in the bedroom doesn't have a filter in it. And I kept getting those F1s, and I thought, what does that mean? Then I started thinking, well, couldn't hurt to use the vacuum on it. So I used the vacuum with a good brush on it, and it's been running ever since. So I saw that, and I will leave you with peace, resist, and persist. And I insist, keep calling Congress. Let them know that they're on a one-way ticket out of office. Just like in the protests, Trump is guilty. And at the senators and representatives of the Republicans, they showed up, they will vote them out. That's how we defeat and use truth to power. We can get them, vote them out. All right. I'll let you go. I will see you on Facebook tomorrow, probably around 6 p.m. Might be sooner. Depends on what happens in the news dump tonight. Have a good one. Stay safe and keep at it. We are the guardians of liberty, and we will get through this just like everything else. Thank you for watching. Like and share. I can still be found on Liker and on MeWe, but I have basically given up on Twitter. I probably didn't have a big following there. If I can find a free email, I may try firing up another account, but I don't know at this time. I like that, Deborah. Clean your vents, and let's clean out the swamp monster and idiots. Yeah, that's right, Deborah. He will always be impeached, so that's not going to change just because he got acquitted. Have a good one, folks, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye now.